Good evening, ladies. Good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. It's August already coming to an end in 3 weeks' time. And then comes spring. I think Sydney Siders will be waiting for the spring. Hi, ladies. Knock, knock. Tap, tap. Who's there? Knock, knock. Tap, tap. Oh, do have a visitor there. I already have Jayashree and Shalaka on the screen. Thanks, ladies, for coming in. Let us wait for some more time. So, how was your Wednesday, by the way?
You're asking us?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. It was one of the big days.
Excellent, excellent. So, did you both go to work or work from home?
Yeah, work from home.
Yes, work from home today, definitely.
Excellent, excellent.
This
So,
event.
some have the luxury of going to work. I would say luxury because I'm one. I go to work every day. It's more convenient. I'm very, very close to work, so it's very convenient for me. Good. I've got 6 people there, and people will be joining. Ladies will be joining. Come on, let's start the session because we have got a full-on session. Welcome, ladies. Welcome to Wholesome Wednesday session number 112, the 112th episode, which is all about sarees again, and again emphasizing Save Soil campaign. And I've got 2 gorgeous ladies representing Sadhguru Foundation, which is Mrs. Jayashree Kumar and Mrs. Shalaka Malgaonkar. So welcome, ladies, to my Wholesome Wednesday platform, and thank you very much for doing this session, which is more an awareness campaign, which we all would love to know what it's all about. I'm sure many people wouldn't be aware of it. So this is an opportunity for you all to emphasize of what the Save Soil campaign is. So we all kind of put in some effort to kind of do something in this campaign. So my usual thing is all about birthdays. Can you believe I have 9,200 followers or so? I couldn't get even one single lady's birthday today on the Facebook group. It's really, really surprising. But anyway, whoever is celebrating today, ladies, wishing you all a very, very, very happy birthday. And for the ladies who celebrated from last week up until today or even yesterday, wishing you all a very, very, very happy birthday. So let us keep the trend of birthdays, whether people are there or not. I'll tend to wish everyone. So next one is all about national days. I talk about the national days, and today happens to be the National Georgia Day. A little bit of attachment here because my sister lives in Georgia, and I have been to Georgia 3 times. And Georgia is one of the states in US which is famous for Coca-Cola, and it is also the peach state in the United States. And did you know that the tradition of drinking Coca-Cola is with boiled peanuts? I never knew that. Absolutely didn't have any idea. Though I've been there, I did not have any idea about that. But anyway, that's Georgia Day. So people in Georgia will be celebrating Georgia Day today. So we can only kind of maybe drink Coca-Cola or maybe boiled peanuts. Yes, I do have both, but I don't drink Coca-Cola, but I do love boiled peanuts. I'll have some later on. The next one is National Grab Some Nuts Day. Yes, this has become more a trend these days because it's all about nuts, and it's to do with weight loss as well as proteins, both kind of like competing with each other. And some say eat lots of nuts, but irrespective of anything, nuts are nutty to eat, so enjoy. It could be cashew nut, it could be peanuts, it could be almonds, it could be anything. Enjoy eating anything. And the other one is to balance the nuts. We have the National Watermelon Day. So National Watermelon Day, watermelon has got 95% of water in it. So to balance the whole thing, we have watermelon as well. So eat a slice of watermelon, if at all you have at home. Otherwise, maybe just, you can imagine eating a watermelon today. The next one, I talk about my sari today. My sari today is a cotton/silk cotton sari. It's got a little bit of blue. I thought this was blue. It looks blue. It's kind of like more grayish, and it definitely has a little green in the pallu here. And it's a very sheer, lightweight sari with a little bit of gold jari in the border. And this is what the sari is. I'll be posting it tonight. So it's a real, lightweight sari, very easy to drape. So that's my sari today. Now, coming to the Save Soil campaign. So let me introduce two gorgeous ladies who are doing that tonight for us. And I have to start off by this apt quote from Albert Einstein, which is, only a life lived for others is worth living, which is a perfect quote, right? So two gorgeous volunteers, which is Mrs. Jayashree Kumar and Mrs. Shalaka Malgaonkar, who will be talking to us about their volunteering journey, which is an inspiring one too, and all about soil rejuvenation, which is titled Save Soil, which is a global movement launched by Sadhguru to address the soil crisis. Essentially, all life depends upon the soil. Soil and life go hand in hand. There can be no life without soil and no soil without life. Mrs. Jayashree Kumar, born and brought up in Bengaluru, did her bachelor's in engineering from Indian Institute of Science and started career as a software engineer with Wipro. She was one of the first engineers to be sent by Wipro to Intel in California. Wow, what an honor. When I kind of did that write up, I said, wow, that should be you should be the high performer, high achiever, wherein it puts you in the bracket to do that. Excellent, excellent. Hearty congratulations and, accolades to you. Very good, very good. After a brief stint working in California, she migrated with her husband, Mr. Hemant Kumar. I have to thank him because he was the technology person behind setting up their setup today. Thank you, Hemant. Thank you so much for doing that. And migrated to Australia in 1990 and have been in Sydney ever since. She now works as a systems manager for the intensive care unit at one of the hospitals in Sydney, which is Nepean Hospital. And apart from her job, she also enjoys yoga, music, reading, and cooking, along with being a mom. And she's also a keen student of Vedanta. She did her inner engineering in 2017, and her life has been changing for the better ever since. The depth at which inner engineering works is truly amazing, bringing clarity and making life a joyful ride. No matter what, volunteering for Isha activities gives her a deep sense of involvement and belonging to the world. And volunteering for the Save Soil movement has created a loving sense of inclusion in her for everything and everyday life around. So welcome, Mrs. Jayashree Kumar. Thank you for coming over. And I'll introduce you all to Mrs. Shalaka Malgaonkar. Again, born and brought up in Mumbai, has completed her bachelor's in science in Mumbai and migrated to Sydney in 1992 with her husband and son. She did her second degree in computing in Macquarie University, Sydney in 1999. And she's currently working in Woolworths Limited as a senior business analyst. She was lucky to be trained in Indian classical music, tabla, right? So watch out, ladies. There will be a tabla session. I've just taken it for granted that she's going to perform for us. That's a very good talent. And remain immersed and connected with it till now as a performing artist. The music has never left her alone and always have found her whenever she was lost. She did her inner engineering too, a yoga course in 2017, and it has truly transformed her into someone who is closer to life. The experience of life since then has been more joyful and light. There is a certain freedom and clarity that she's enjoying in every situation. Volunteering for Isha activities has been a very liberating experience for her. It is high time. Let us listen to both Jayashree and Shalaka about the Save Soil campaign, which is becoming an earth buddy at the moment. Off you go, ladies. If you want to tell briefly, I have already mentioned, maybe if I missed anything or if you have missed mentioning anything, perhaps an opportunity and showcase your volunteering love and Save Soil campaign. Welcome.
Thank you, Hema.
Thank you.
So I'm the Jayashree has introduced, and this is Shalaka. We have known each other for a very long time now. Maybe first we met in 1996 or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Feels like
Right. We are connected in many ways through music, then through the yoga practices,
Yoga. Yeah.
and now through volunteering as well. So,
Excellent.
Hema, I thought I'll just mention about Isha Foundation and Sadhguru just a line, in case there
Yes.
are people here who don't know about
Yeah.
it. So Isha Foundation is a completely volunteer-run organization which aims to bring physical, mental, and spiritual well-being for everyone in the world. Now, Sadhguru is a yogi, a mystic, a visionary, and a poet, an author, and he's a spiritual master with a difference. So those of you,
Exactly.
who have seen,
I did have the pleasure of attending this session when he came here to Sydney a few years ago.
that's wonderful.
A well-packed session.
Sadhguru is the founder of Isha Foundation, and he's the one who has started the Save Soil movement, which we are going to talk about today.
you know what? I must tell these ladies that I call Jayashree Akka. Okay,
Okay.
Akka means
Yeah.
the sister.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what I may call her in this informal gupshup and conversation that we are having today. So I'm just letting you guys know this is just not Jayashree, it's Akka for me.
Okay. So is that the formal way of addressing in Isha Foundation as well? Because the salutation like varies from those spiritual organization. Because my mother-in-law used to be a Brahma Kumari, and they always used to call Akka and Anat. So is that a formal salutation? Okay.
Yes.
Fair
So,
enough. Yeah.
so we call all the ladies Akka and all the men are Anna.
Akka. Nice. Very nice.
You talked about your Saree, Hema, so I thought I'd just talk about mine today. I'm wearing a Mysore silk saree.
I know, I saw that. That's my favorite and everyone's favorite. Beautiful color.
State that I hail from, which is Karnataka. And this is mulberry silk. That is silkworms which eat mulberry leaves. They make the silk from which this saree is made. And they say 45% of mulberry silk sarees are all made from Karnataka in India. Yeah, so, and it's a very soft silk.
Yeah, very true, very true.
It has a nice shine about it. It's quite different to
nice
the silk.
shine,
Shalaka is wearing a
Yeah.
Kanjivaram, and
Yeah.
it's also very, very special sari she's wearing today. It's probably a little difficult for you to see what is on the sari. It's got a nice tabla.
It's got Indian
woven on it.
instruments woven.
Yeah, Indian. That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's perfect for a tabla person.
Yeah, very active for a musician, I guess.
Correct. And that too a tabla person.
Very perfect, really perfect for her.
Thank you, Akka.
So when you're talking about saris, the very first sari that I wore was my mother's sari. So, and
Oh.
about your mother's sari or your grandmother's sari,
The sari. Yeah.
which you grow up, hiding.
Correct.
So the thing that comes to your mind is the smell.
Correct. Yeah.
You can call it fragrance or you can call it smell, but
Yeah. Whatever. Like it's just the warmth, and you can literally smell and feel it. Yeah.
yeah, that's right. And
Oh, that's
immediately takes you to the smell of soil, because all our saris actually come from soil.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes, you're 100% right.
Absolutely.
It's the warmth of motherhood, and
Yeah.
it's the smell of motherhood.
Absolutely. So when we think about our mothers, so what is the very first emotion, if I may ask you, Akka, what is the very first emotion or feeling that overwhelms you? It is
Thankfulness.
thankfulness. It is the love and the gratitude, if I may use
Gratitude
that
is
word.
the word.
Gratitude, and it is a gratitude towards the person, mother, who carried us for 9 months and gave birth. She brought us here, and here we are. But what about the mother of all mothers, or mother of all,
Mother
uh,
Yeah.
or the soil? And I would like to start today's conversation with the invocation or the prayer
Yeah, sure.
to the mother. And Akka, you sang the other day, so I
Yeah.
would like you to sing that, please.
So let's start with a little prayer.
Yeah.
Samudravasane devi Parvatastana mandale Vishnupatni namastubhyam Padasparsham namo Kshamasva me Vishnupatni namastubhyam Padasparsham Kshamasva me.
Let me explain the meaning. So, the meaning is, O Mother Earth, O Devi, you who have the ocean as your vasana. Vasana means the garment, or sari in this case, and mountains as your bosom. O consort of Lord Vishnu, salutations to you, namaste to you, and please forgive me for the touch of my feet to you. And this is the very first prayer that you say just before getting out of your bed. And
Correct,
touching the ground with your feet. Just
Yeah.
before that,
That's right.
you pay your gratitude, your salutation, and say, "Please excuse me. I have no other means. Please excuse me, forgive us for touching you with our feet,"
Yes.
which is such a beautiful concept itself, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Correct. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
This same Mother Earth is now struggling to feed us. And that's what we are here to talk about today. She's the mother who produces food for us and gives us shelter, and all the saris that we wear, all the clothes.
I know it.
Yeah. So we're going
Yeah.
to talk about this mother today.
Yeah.
So, just as you said, Mother Earth produces the food for us, and our bodies are nothing but the food that we have eaten since we are born.
Yes.
and the water that we have drank. So have you noticed something, Akka? Tell me that the prices of veggies and pulses and everything, it's skyrocketing.
I
Absolutely.
know it is. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. Yeah.
yeah. What the cabbage? What, $12? Sorry, $12.99. I was like, I'm not going to eat cabbage. What's wrong with it? It almost feels like it's some kind of a exotic subject, you know.
Exotic vegetable.
Yeah.
And also
Mm.
more shocking than the prices, actually the supermarket shelves are becoming empty.
Mm.
Yeah. So I have
Empty.
noticed
Yeah.
that recently, and I know
That's
there
true.
could be.
Like, when you go shopping in the evening, almost the shelves are empty because
Yeah.
I don't get time during the day. I end up going in the night. Almost the shelves are empty. It could be anything, fruits, vegetables, including like the other stuff. Like everything is gone. All the essentials are gone. Everything.
I mean, I know that it may have something to do with the war, the inflation, and the supply chain issues, and but you know what? There is something else to it. There is something more to it. And
Mm.
Akka, will you please read out some statistics
Yes.
that
Yes.
we have found?
Yes, you're absolutely right. We may laugh at the price of cabbage, but this is not a laughing matter. The United Nations has actually declared so many things which are quite shocking. So I'll just tell you a couple of them today. So the UN says we have only 60 years of soil left to grow crops for us. Only 60 years. This doesn't mean that for 60 years we're all good and on the 60th year everything disappears. No, it's going to be a gradual decline, and
Fine.
that is something we have started to face already.
Yeah.
So soil is not disappearing, but it is degrading. Because soil is degrading, we have this problem. That is, the Mother Earth is no longer able to produce enough for us. She's becoming barren, is she? So we have to see what
What
we
best
can do.
as humans.
Now, the other interesting statistic that the UN says is by the year 2050, 90% of Earth's soil will be degraded.
Wow.
90% will be degraded. That means it is desertified. Desertified means we cannot grow crops in
Crops
those areas. In
Wow.
90% of agricultural land, no more
is
crops.
gone.
So now,
Whoa. That's a huge one. Like it's 90%. Oh
by
wow.
2050, which is only like 20, 25,
Yep.
27 years
Yep.
from
Yep.
now.
Yep.
Yeah.
From now.
Yes. That's within our lifetimes.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's what
mm.
children will do. Now, another thing, as a consequence of this, what's going to happen is large numbers of people will start migrating from one place where there is no food to another place where they think they may find food. Now, the number of people that will migrate, the UN says, is going to be something like 700 million to nearly a billion people. Imagine a billion people moving on this earth from place to place
Face to face.
in
Whoa.
search of food and water.
Yeah.
It's going to be complete chaos because when people migrate, they're not going to simply go to another city and say, okay, let's go to the supermarket and find food. It's not going to be like that. They will come with nothing. They may have some money which they have spent in their migration. They have no food. So they are going to take your food away if you have food. So the way Sadhguru puts it, the man with the gun will get the food. So this is a very shocking thing to happen. Now, while these are statistics that the UN says is going to happen, what's already happening is deficiencies, the lack of nutrition in the food that we are eating today. I'll give you
Yeah.
an example. Um, say In the soils of India, 43% of the soils of India don't have zinc anymore. They are deficient in zinc. Now, when
Right.
zinc is deficient, what happens is dwarfism is one of the consequences. And the other consequence is anemia. That means we are going to have unhealthy people.
People living. Yeah.
So it's not just about zinc, it's about a whole gamut of nutrients, which are all becoming deficient in the soil.
Yep.
Soil is really degrading.
It is, and you know what? It is not just the food. So this soil degradation is also causing the problem with the climate. So, for example, let me read something. So, climate is changing as well. On 15th of July, telegraph.co.uk, in there, the UK Weather Meteorology Office warned that it won't be safe to go outside in the sun to play next week because it is going to be probably, there is a 50% chance that the mercury will hit more than 40 degrees. And it happened.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, it
Wow.
happened. There were
It
still,
happened.
yeah, there were not bushfires, but there were fires, right? And for days, that's what it happened. So, yeah,
That in a place like the UK,
UK
which is usually
is
a
supposed to
cold.
be cold,
Yeah.
you know. So why all this is happening? Why is this happening?
Yeah. So let's just talk about why this could be happening. So first, let's understand what soil really is. So if you take a handful of soil, they say there are so many microbes in just a handful of soil, which is more than the number of people living on Earth. That means billions of organisms are living in just this much soil. This is the life that actually is making our lives. So
Life.
there is a connection between us and these microbes. This micro life. It could be, like if you take soil, it could be not just microbes. There are earthworms. There are all kinds of
Other
little
organisms.
prey of different kinds. Yeah. So there are fungi, little insects. So all kinds of life live in soil. They say scientists have only done research and discovered about 1% of life, or they understand 1% of the life in soil. So we still have 99% to explore.
We
So
don't know.
soil
It
is so rich in life.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, take this soil, remove all this that we just talked about, life in the soil, and all the dried leaves and twigs and plant material which
Goes back.
falls
Goes
on
back
soil.
to soil. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
together is called the organic content of soil. Now, if you take soil and remove all the organic content from it, what is left? It's called
Sand.
sand. So sand is just the
Soil without
the material in which no life is supported.
Yep.
But when all this organic content is in the soil, it actually supports life, helps things grow. So this is the big difference between soil and sand. You can take sand and convert it into soil, and that's a wonderful thing. And that's what we are going to rely on for reversing this process of desertification.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I may actually read out a couple of more of those statistics. So 95% of our food comes from soil. So when we begin to destroy the biology of the soil, we are actually destroying the food network that gives us life. Okay. So, and as human, we have done exactly that. We have. It is shocking that we have lost over 50% of the world's agricultural soil, and there are two main reasons for that. One is the farming practice. Farming practices have changed over the years. I mean, if you remember, in olden days, all farms had animals and they had trees.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were small farms with animals and trees, and animal waste and dried leaves and twigs. It all used to go back into the soil to form that organic content that matters.
Mm.
Okay, and so now we have, if you see, now we have, it's like wherever you see the large, very huge, landscape after landscape, it
Acres,
is acres and
of,
acres. It is just a single crop
Mm.
with no trees
yes.
or
That's right.
animal
Yeah.
waste that is going to
Yeah,
go into
animals have disappeared from large farms. You may have seen pictures of huge hectares of land, all being, ready to be plowed. Or you may have seen pictures of these huge
Machines.
machines, harvesting machines, or machines that are tilling the soil, or machines that are spraying fertilizer, or pesticides or something like that. You may have seen pictures of those, and this is one of the reasons that, because of this practice where there is only a single crop which is harvested, and after that there's nothing, it's just
Open.
laid
Open.
like that,
Yeah.
laid barren,
Yeah.
with nothing on it, until it is time again, and when the rains come, they start sowing seeds again. So this practice of leaving land open like this, barren, without a cover crop, is one of the main reasons why
Reasons.
we have come to this state now. Desertification,
Oh dear.
quality of the soil is reducing because no organic matter is
Matter in the soil.
Back
yes,
into
that's
it.
right. It's not being put back. Yeah. So exposed
Exposed soil. Yes. No green cover.
no green cover. Yeah,
Mm.
that's right. So now there is. I would like to read a quote from Sadhguru,
Yep.
which says what is really happening, and it also gives us a little ray of hope. So he says this: consider this: a handful of soil has over 5 billion organisms, sometimes 7 billion, just in a handful of soil. It is from this microbial life that all other life on this planet has evolved. If all these microbes were to die, we would be finished. But every year, on an average, 27,000 species in the soil habitat are going extinct. Now, you heard that right? 27,000 species of habitat. I'm not talking of one single microbe here. And for this, humanity and every other form of life is paying a very heavy price. So, Sadhguru has said this. There is another quote which we will come to, which also gives us the
Yeah.
ray of hope.
Yeah. So so what we are talking about here is the degradation to the extent of desertification, and this widespread desertification is leading to what is now we call as soil extinction. You heard it right. Do you realize
Soil extinction.
what we are calling as a extinct is soil? I mean, soil is our very source, our mother, and we are saying that it is going to be extinct. This is not just another ecological challenge, such as if you remember that too much of CFC because of aerosol cans, the situation that we had few years back, and it depleted or created a hole in the ozone layer. And
Yeah.
the way we could handle is by reducing the use of aerosol cans or banning them, and that has put the ozone layer back into a much better shape now. But soil extinction is not a simple matter which can be fixed in a short term like
Yeah,
this.
that's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's one, the damage is quite a bit, and we need to do something about it. It's not going to get repaired on its own if we keep the same mistakes again and again.
Correct.
Yeah. So, and it's an existential threat. This is an existential threat.
Yes.
This means we are threatening our own existence. Okay.
And that of our
And
future generations.
exactly. And the future generations.
Yes.
So, however,
Mm.
we still have hope of being able to avert this disaster.
Mm.
Okay. And that is where I can smile a bit. It you know,
So it can be
that there is a little bit of a hope there, but we all have it together. So, if I may read Sadhguru's quote here, if
yes,
we
please.
do the right things now, we can significantly turn this situation around and regenerate the soil in next 15 to 25 years. That's what Sadhguru is saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. 15 to 25 years. This is the key. So
Yeah.
if we delay and if we just take it easy for another 30 years, 40 years, whatever, then it becomes harder and harder to regenerate. It will not happen in another 2 or 3 lifetimes. So
Yeah. So it has to start from the source, and the source is all us.
it has to happen now. So now is the time to act.
Time.
So that is why he started the Save Soil movement. Save Soil
So
is
when
a
did he start this? I was just reading it was in March, on the 21st of March, but which year did he start?
oh, okay. So the movement started this year. So
Oh,
that
this
is
year.
this,
Okay.
that's right. But actually, Sadhguru has been working on this for the past 20 years. He's been doing something or the other. All of it has been leading to Save Soil. Okay. These are the
Okay.
projects he has done, which include Rally for Rivers, Kaveri Calling, all those major projects. They're all leading towards Save Soil. I think we will mention it as we go. All right. Now, Save Soil is a global movement to prevent the soil extinction that Shalaka was just talking about. Save Soil is an effort to address the degeneration of soil by inspiring at least 3.5 billion people, which is about 60% of the world's electorate, to support long-term government policies to revitalize soil. So it's not a small project. It's not a short project. We are talking about making 3.5 billion people aware about the state of soil and to take some action. So big numbers here, which is a large percent of the world's population.
Yeah.
It is a unique global movement uniting world leaders, visionaries, influencers, and 3.5 billion citizens of the world, all to work to put their efforts behind one common purpose, and that is to save soil.
Save soil.
And Sadhguru says, it is a privilege we are at a cusp of history that we can still pull ourselves back from a precipice. If we act now, in the next 10 to 15 years, the world's soil could be turned around significantly. And that's why we are here, so that we can do something right now.
Excellent. So it's everyone's effort. So everyone has to put in their effort and do as much as they can. It's like it's every single drop becoming an ocean. So that's what the target will be.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this Save Soil movements, where the main purpose is to increase the organic content in the soil to at least a minimum of 3% or 3 to 6%. There are two ways to go about it. One is to raise the awareness among 3.5 billion people, as Akka said before. We have to make 3.5 billion people, who are the 60% of the electorate population of the world, for them to garner the support for Save Soil goals and advocating policies across all nations towards soil restoration. Now, have you noticed that if you are demanding for a roundabout or I don't know, or a probably better road in your neighborhood, it will probably actioned. It will be probably actioned quite immediately in a short term, because you are asking for something that can be fulfilled in a short term
Short
with
period
little
of time.
little
Yeah.
involvement. But something that needs many years of investment, commitment, and involvement, it will be done only if a very large population raises it as their first concern.
Mm.
That is how the governments and administrations work.
Yeah, interestingly, so it seems no population of any nation in the world has ever asked for long-term benefits. So that
Hmm.
means something that is going to take, which may not happen in our lifetime, which may take,
Yeah.
20, 30 years to happen. Only our children will benefit, that kind of benefits. No nation, no population has asked for, but now is the time to ask for it. So what we do to the soil today may not benefit us, but it
Uh,
will
it
benefit.
will benefit the future, yeah,
Yeah.
generation. Yeah.
Now we were talking about policies. So Akka was saying that Save Soil, one of the aims is to advocate policies across all the nations on the globe towards soil restoration. So this is again a long-term policy. It's not going to happen in 1 year or 2 years. It's not going to happen within an election term. So
Correct.
so
That is,
yeah.
it is not going to happen in election term.
That's
Exactly.
right. So that is our big problem. So because most of the nations are democratic nations, so the political parties want votes, and if they want to get votes, they are looking for short-term gains. And people are asking for short-term things. They are doing short-term things and getting their votes. So, but this one is different. So that's why people have to be educated now to understand that this goal, even if it is not met in this government's lifetime,
There has to be a commitment.
yes, so we should still be committed. And we should make sure our leaders are still committed, even though they cannot achieve it in this short time,
Period of time.
their government time. So these long-term policies for soil revitalization, they will only be implemented by governments if there is popular demand and support for it. So that is why we have to try our best, spread the word. Everyone has to understand it and then support the leaders who support soil revitalization. So now what we are talking about is our own existence and that of our future generations. So our own existence, if you think about it, is not an exclusive existence. We have to include all the life around, and that is what we have missed out on. The world has come to this state because it has no inclusive
Yeah.
policies.
Or
So
we are
this,
saying that we are the one here to survive at the expense of others,
correct.
other life. It looks like that's how we have been
Yeah.
living.
And that's how nature has come to this state now,
Yeah.
where we have to start worrying about
Yeah.
it, whether it will support us anymore.
Exactly. Exactly.
Mm. Yeah. So there is a little example we can when we talk about inclusiveness. One example we just talked about microbes. So the plants and the trees have a very large root system, right? We know very little about how these roots work. So the microbes in the soil and the roots, they have a beautiful exchange mechanism going on, right? And because of this exchange, so they get the microbes, the living organisms get their oxygen from the plants, and they provide all those
Nutrients.
little, the micronutrients which are so essential for our foods. They provide it to the roots, which put up the,
In the
take
fruits and
it up to the produce, that is the fruits and vegetables that grow.
Vegetables.
So
Yeah.
that is one inclusiveness. We have to realize that our life, we owe it to these microbes. Another little example, if you see how we breathe, we are breathing in oxygen and we are breathing out carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide.
The green leaves, during
Yeah.
photosynthesis, they're actually producing oxygen.
Yeah.
And that is the oxygen that we are breathing in.
We are using to breathe.
The carbon dioxide, it's such a beautiful balance.
The beautiful balance and the mutual kind of like, existence there. Yeah.
Sadhguru says it really beautifully. He says half of our respiratory system is hanging out there on those trees,
Yeah.
which is so true.
Very
How
true.
much respect we should have for the trees, or so creating a conscious planet in which all life is respected and cared for is the goal. And when I heard that, so let me say it again: creating a conscious planet in which all life is respected and cared for. I mean, what a grand vision.
Absolutely.
When I heard it, I was like, that makes absolute sense.
Just the word, the term conscious planet is absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely. And to make this happen, there were a lot of Save Soil movement events. So in those 100 days,
What 100 days?
so the 100 days were so
Oh,
Sadhguru.
right, the
So
ride. Yes.
the ride. So Sadhguru
Yeah.
went on a lone motorbike ride for 100 days, covering
Wow.
30,000 kilometers and 27 countries.
All
Wow.
He
lone rider. Yeah.
lone rider. So that itself is a grand gesture in its own. It's a mammoth effort.
Yeah.
So
Effort. Yeah.
sorry, Hema.
No, as you said, it's a mammoth effort, and that's being done.
Yeah, amazing. So far, 94 countries have signed MOUs with Isha Foundation, supporting the movement and promising to implement safe soil policies in their countries, which is amazing. 94 countries have already done
Countries.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now each country, see,
Which is
now
grateful.
see how this is planned. So each country gets a separate document listing methods to implement soil rejuvenation policies and 2 years of hand holding by trained Isha volunteers.
So when you say separate document, it is the one that suits their
That-
climate
Except their climate, their kind of species of the
and their
grains, and
culture. Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, and then 2 years of, so it is not just that you sign a MOU and off you go. It's not like that. 2 years of hand holding by trained volunteers. What a mammoth commitment!
Absolutely.
What a mammoth
And
commitment
it's
for
great to see 92 countries signing off.
yeah. The
Yes.
94 countries have already signed MOUs.
Yeah.
So
All
this
the
is-
common
yes, all the common countries have signed. Okay, so this is a truly global movement.
Yes.
It is truly a global movement.
Yeah.
And do you know how people have responded to this Save Soil journey? Let me tell you a couple of things. So numerous cycling and walking marathons across the globe were conducted. Save Soil stalls in many festivals. Wall murals were there in
Yes.
UK, Germany, and enormous number of your wall murals in India.
Yes.
Okay. Then lighting of major iconic bridges and towers in major cities. For example, Niagara Falls, Burj Khalifa was lit.
Yes.
Wow.
Seattle Great Wheel, yes. The
Yeah.
Canberra Tower, Howrah Beach in India, Mumbai Beach,
Yes.
and Buddha statue in Hyderabad. And
Oh, that's excellent. We
You
will
know-
definitely see something going on Opera House very soon, or maybe the Harbour Bridge very soon then.
hope so. That will be so awesome, because
But
Australian population was not behind in
Yeah.
doing any of this. So there were two monuments in Perth
yes,
that were lit with green and blue, which is a safe soil
the
colors.
colors save soil.
Colors. The colors
Saree.
save soil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue
the
and
blue.
green today. Yes.
So yes, it has been. So world has
And
to.
interestingly, your saris and the blouses are also matching in the sense like your
Yes.
blouse is green and blue, and yours is the contrast, which is perfect.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Now, the Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
That was looking beautiful.
It was
It's like
actually-
something like yours.
That would be amazing to see, isn't it?
Yeah. Now, you may be wondering how doing this kind of thing, riding somewhere, talking to leaders, making all these
Things
influences,
happen.
soil, and lighting bridges or buildings or whatever, all these things, how is it really going to save water? You may wonder, right? All this is an awareness campaign,
Yeah.
but the real work, there has been a fantastic example set already. And this was done during Kaveri calling. And it's an ongoing effort. It is still going on. I'll just tell you a little about Kaveri calling, and you will realize what a massive effort it is and how it is like a proof that soil
It
can
works.
be rejuvenated,
Yep.
and that there is hope.
Yep.
Yeah. So Kaveri calling is not just about a river. The whole movement, Kaveri calling campaign, was started for revitalizing the Kaveri River.
Kaveri water. Yeah.
But it is, remember, it's a tropical river. And how does a tropical river flow? Tropical rivers are fed by soil. Can you believe it? By soil. So there's only a brief rainy season in Australia, in India. So
In India, yeah.
good soil actually holds the
Holds the
water, right? And then it lets the water out in a
Water.
trickle throughout the year. And that's how our
Yeah.
perennial rivers flow. Kaveri used to be a perennial river, but now certain times of the year, it doesn't even reach the ocean. It's a massive river which fed so many millions of people, doesn't even flow until its destination. So revitalizing Kaveri River means you are rejuvenating soil.
Soil, absolutely.
So for this Kaveri calling project, just to give you some statistics, in the 2 years of COVID, 20 million trees were planted in those 2 years. More than 50,000 farmers shifted to tree-based agriculture, which you mentioned before. You remember?
Having animals and having the green
trees,
cover.
Now, 890 Mara Mitras. Mara in Kannada language means a tree. Mara
Tree. Oh, Maramitra. Oh, okay.
Mara Mitras are young people, youth who have volunteered to get trained in tree-based agriculture so that they can go out and train farmers.
Farmers. Oh.
Fantastic thing. 890 young people in India
have signed up. Wow.
Mitras, and they are going and volunteering and providing help to all the farmers in the Kaveri Basin. So now, because of this and because of Rally for Rivers, which was another big movement that
happened in India.
Sadhguru initiated again, and there was a document which Sadhguru gave to the government of India at that time. Based on that and based on
certain
many
policies
other
were brought in.
Recently, a few months back, the government of India announced that it is going to rejuvenate 13 major rivers based on the recommendations of Rally for Rivers. So, and a huge investment has been made towards
by the
this.
government.
Now, but the most important event in this we are talking about all the Save Soil
Safe
movement.
soil campaign. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The most important event happened in the Ivory Coast. Now, the United Nations has a body called UNCCD.
Yeah, I've heard that. UNCCD.
Yeah, United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification. So,
Wow. Okay.
so that body, it meets once biennial meeting. It has once in 2 years, and the meeting is called Conference of the Parties, COP. So the 15th COP 15 was held while Sadhguru was riding during the 100 days. So
This
during
part. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sadhguru actually flew to
Ivory
the
Coast.
Ivory Coast and he addressed COP 15.
193
nations were present. That's right. So representatives of 193 nations in the world,
Nations.
the entire world,
So out
represented in.
of 193, 93 has signed and another 100 to go.
Yes. So now, what did Sadhguru say in that is very interesting. So it was a very short talk, and he advocated a three-pronged strategy to combat desertification, which is what the conference talks about. So what is this three-pronged? It's a very simple thing, so I thought it's worth talking about. So first of all, the first thing is the same thing as the aim of the Save Soil movement, which is to increase organic content to a minimum of 3% in all agricultural lands across the globe. So that's number one. The second one is to provide incentives for farmers to get there, because they are the ones doing it. We just do the talk, right? They are the ones
exactly
doing it. We are just spreading awareness so that we can support the leaders who will support the farmers. To get the job done.
Yep.
And the third thing is to provide special preference for produce coming from such farms. So if there is a farm which has more organic content, there must be some way in which
that farmer is
they're
supported.
they're actually distinguished from the rest of the produce.
Yep.
So you can do some labeling mechanism. You can say that this produce comes from a farm which has 4% organic content. Then you will buy that in preference to something which has 1% organic content.
Yep.
Yeah. So this three-pronged strategy was proposed by Sadhguru, and hopefully most of the nations will act upon it. Yeah. Now we're talking a lot about the movement and the events, but what happens actually when you save soil? What are all the things that can happen? It's not just about growing more it's not just about growing more food for us. What soil actually does is just totally mind-boggling. So let us just go through a few things that will happen if we actually come to saving soil. So first of all, you may have heard about the carbon problem.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So
yeah.
There is much carbon in the atmosphere, which should not be there.
Yeah.
Correct.
This is our climate change. This is causing global warming.
Yep.
There's too much carbon in the atmosphere. So there is another term called carbon sequestration, which means you take the carbon in the atmosphere, convert it into solid or liquid, and keep it in the earth.
Yep.
Keep it in the earth. That is called carbon sequestration.
And it is not a chemical process. It is the natural
process.
Thing. So you don't have to invent a new device to make this happen. The trees are doing it. The plants are doing it
already.
Yes. So all we need is ground cover.
Yeah.
A lot of vegetation. Green. A green planet will
really
carbon. And this will reduce global warming. It will also improve air quality.
Yep.
Now, and the next thing that will happen is food will be more nutritious. Just talking about nutrition, let's take 1930s.
Yeah.
Our grandparents lived at that time. If they ate one orange, we have to now eat 8 oranges to get the same amount of nutrition.
Nutrients in there. That's so true, isn't it?
So you would rather have an orange which grows in organically rich soil and eat one orange.
One orange. Then
I don't want to buy 8 when I can buy one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the amazing thing that soil can do.
Absolutely. And just to carry on with that one, so good soil means improved water quality. So did you know that the soil is the best water filter? What that means is if there is enough organic material in the enough organic content in the soil, then it will let the water actually flow through like a seep through or
Slowly.
a trickle feed rather than a gush or let it just wash the soil itself.
Right, yeah.
So that's a filtering of the water. Then, as you said, improvement on the tropical rivers flow. And you mentioned it. You explained that too, just. And then I'm going to talk about the improved farmers' life.
Yeah, that's important.
So, farmer is the one who is actually going to do that hands-on work.
Yes.
He loves his land.
Yes.
If there is a better nutrient, if the soil content is rich in the really good organic material, then obviously the cultivation is going to be good.
Yes.
There, just these all, the farmer suicide and all that has happened in India. That is also because of this. That there is
so that will stop.
Yield that they are getting from.
Correct. Yeah.
So a good happy farmer going to be
the best gift.
Exactly.
For
to humanity.
Yes.
They are cultivating food. We are just buying it.
Yes. They are the ones.
We are the consumers. They are the producers.
That's right. Yeah.
So we need to have that gratitude. We need to make sure that their well-being is also looked up.
So no farmer will commit suicide if the land is rich or if there is water.
Yeah.
So he will find a way to grow something.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now I have to ask you. So now that you have heard what humanity has done to the soil and how it affects us and our next generation.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you be wondering? Actually, you must be burning with this question. What can I do?
Yes.
Am I correct?
Correct.
Yes, I was itching to ask, but I thought, yes, there will be something in the end.
Tell me what I can do.
So all of us now must be thinking, okay, we heard all this. We heard about the soil movement, but what can I do? Okay. So 2 things. First, learn. Second, support. So what are you going to learn?
Yeah.
You have to learn some facts. You have to learn what soil is. You have to know how soil can remain soil.
Yeah.
And how sand can be converted back into soil. Yes. Desertified lands, how can it become? So if you know some of this, then you will support the leaders who promise the right things.
Yep. Correct. Yep. Absolutely.
Okay. So learn. How will you learn? Simple thing. There is a website called savesoil.org. Very simple name, savesoil.org.
Yeah.
It is made beautifully. There are fantastic tools there for you to learn and to use.
Absolutely.
To spread the word.
Yep.
To spread the word and educate yourselves. Yeah.
So once you learn, how are you going to support? First, you spread the word. Just talk to people. So whenever you have a conversation in any gathering, look, almost everything connection to soil. So any topic, you can bring it back to soil. Bring it back to soil. So do talk about soil somehow, right? And you must also raise your voice. It's not enough to just talk among ourselves. We have to talk to our leaders. And how can you do that? You write a letter to your local MP. So that's where you begin. You're
I
right.
did it.
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
Just before the election, I did it.
That's nice. Yeah.
So was there a response, Shalaka?
I actually did. I got a response that they have received the letter, and that's all I got. But I wrote the letter.
You always get a letter of acknowledgement if you write it to council or any leaders.
Return the letter.
Yes.
They would have like, I need to look at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can write to your local MP, you can write to the Prime Minister, you can write to the opposition leader, just write. And if you want templates of those letters, they are also available in the website.
Yeah.
So you can get those. Now, one of the most important things you should do, you really should do this. If you are not a member on Twitter, become a member. Why? Because all the world leaders are now tweeting. So become the most important.
Social media has expanded. It's not only Twitter, Jayashree. You talk about any social media platform. You talk about YouTube. You talk about TikTok. You talk about Instagram. You talk about anything. Everywhere it is there. Save soil. You just put save soil. That hashtag means a lot. Everything gets pulled out.
There is a hashtag called #SaveSoil. So use that hashtag and search in any platform. You're going to find lots of things. But if you promote those tweets, then it will really help trending. So it just happens that all the world leaders pay attention to the hashtags that are trending.
Yeah.
So you should make #SaveSoil trend. So go to Twitter and you retweet with a quote. That means you put your own comment there supporting the movement and use this platform. Another thing you can do is support farmer initiatives. So when we say farmer initiatives, if the government says we are going to give subsidies to the farmer, don't say it doesn't affect me, I'm not interested. It does. Yeah. So support all initiatives that help the farmer to increase organic content. Yeah. So, and also if we come up with labeling of produce, pay attention to the labeling, buy the right product. So you can do that.
That is how we can make sure. That is our way of putting efforts.
So we are not doing the job of increasing organic content, but we have to support the farmer to do it.
Exactly.
So that's why all this. So
there has to be some key takeaway. Just before we finish, so the key takeaway is, soil is not a resource. Soil is a very source of our existence. Right. Let's imbibe that and spread this word. Soil is not a commodity that we can use and forget. It is a very source of our existence. So follow and tweet #SaveSoil.
Yes.
Share the SaveSoil.org with all your families and friends, and keep talking about it. Become an earth buddy. It is amazing. If you bring this up with your kids, if your grandkids, if you are that young at heart, this topic is not just for you and me and our generation. This topic has to
yes, so many artworks by children.
Yes, and use car stickers.
Yes, you can do that.
Wear Save Soil T-shirt.
Yeah.
So this is a Save Soil T-shirt. We have got
T-shirt.
Beautiful T-shirt.
I save our soil, and I actually wear that to the local shops, and people do ask me sometimes, what is that?
Yeah. What is that?
I wear Save Soil.
So this is actually a child's writing. Save our soil. Child's writing.
Very nice. Very nice. So what's the concept behind blue and green? Green, I agree, it's more to do with nature. What's the color code blue standing for? What is its importance?
Blue must be under water or
water,
but
sky.
must be water. Hopefully, I I never asked this question.
No. Good on him.
Something to think about.
Right.
And the most importantly, support the political leaders who are supporting the soil rejuvenation.
Yeah.
From this point onwards, it is not about asking for a menial and a small demand. It's about asking for the long-term commitment and involvement to the soil rejuvenation. So,
Yeah.
if I was loyal to a party and if a B party is giving me this policy, I'll go there. I'll
Yeah.
vote responsibly.
Yes. Vote
Okay.
responsibly.
Vote responsibly. I will vote consciously.
Correct.
Yeah, that is about creating a conscious planet.
Yes.
And
Creating the awareness. Yeah.
responsibly.
Yes.
Why responsibly? So if the government is making those label changes, like
Support
many
it.
of us, we look at the,
Let's support it. Yeah.
we have to support it.
Yeah.
Because only when the buyers, consumers support, the producers are going to get the support that they need.
Yes, that's right. See, almost everything I touch feel is made of soil. That's right. Yeah. It's not just food. Even these lovely sarees that we wear, everything
Correct.
comes from soil.
Correct.
And now this ever young Mother Earth, ever vibrant mother, she's ailing, she's struggling to keep us alive. She's struggling to keep us healthy. So let us do our best to help her. And
Yeah.
let us save soil.
Save soil.
Let it happen.
Happen.
We have to thank the Saree Gallery and Hema for hosting us.
It's a pleasure. It was such an educational and an eye-opener session because, I'm sure, like I had heard this a little bit of it a few months ago, but I'm sure the whole group wouldn't have, been aware of what Save Soil is. It's just really, really educational. Yeah.
I should.
That's what there are two comments here. One says educational, one says beautiful and very educational. It's interesting, ladies. I would have expected more comments in there. And if you have any queries about Save Soil, I've got two gorgeous ladies who can answer your questions. Come on, ladies, shoot those messages. If you are not able to do it now, maybe think about it, have a read, and message them. They will be very happy to message you back with their responses, or perhaps direct you to wherever you can find information and support it. That's very interesting. Yeah.
Thank Rekha Shashikant for giving me this idea to approach
I know.
you.
Thank you, Rekha, for introducing.
Yeah.
Though I had it in mind, when you did it in the month of December, I had it in the background, but it completely had slipped out. And then Rekha jumped in and said, "Oh, I have this." She introduced quite a few of them. And I think I have done one or two, 2 or 3 are signed up in the coming week and probably in the coming months as well. So it's really nice. It's, it's through word of mouth. I'll be getting people like you. And now in this, between the two of you, I have both Shalaka, who's agreed to do the tabla session for me. So she's lined up. So that's how it's growing.
Hey, that reminded me. We should talk about the beautiful Save Soil anthem.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, 1, 2, 3. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Save soil.
Save soil. Let's make it happen.
Okay, so I am going to play something for y'all.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody. is just soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's a perfect tribute there. Very nice. Just stop sharing that. So it was fantastic. And I just love the anthem. It's so beautiful. You know, the rhythm is so nice, and it doesn't have any caste or creed or religion or age or anything. It's just so beautiful. And you can see people from all walks of life in there. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Hema.
Hema.
Really appreciate for giving us this
I
opportunity.
have to thank you all as well. Thank you for coming over. Thank you so much. So, ladies, as mentioned, if you have any questions, shoot that across in the message box, and either of them will come back to you with answers. And I would also urge you all to take some steps towards this campaign. Thank you, ladies. So, Shalaka, Jayashree, and Hema signing off for the evening. And I will see you again next Friday. Watch out for that announcement on Sunday at 10 o'clock. Thank you, ladies. Bye for now. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.